So I wanted to talk about what is actually unhappiness, what is feeling depressed, and what's the best way to go around, a quick and simple way of going around and getting your first steps to get out of it. Because I think we basically know, most of us, how to get out of something. It's just getting up and actually doing it, and we can see the problems that we've got. And that's one of the main issues. We see all these problems that we have, and when we put them into this massive category, and it just overwhelms us. So one time I went to see a psychologist about basically helping me out mentally, and she got me to write down a list of all these things. So I did that, and she said to me, right, now instead of fixating on all of them at the same time, just start to look at one of these things and do one every week. So start off with one thing, and she said that will help you in the long run to basically heal. So I was like, okay, I'll do that then. So I started to walk just every day for about 15-20 minutes, and I would say by the time I got into week 2, then I was already eating healthier as well, and I'd slowly cut down a little bit of what I smoked, and eventually it just kind of helped me to redirect my energy and change my life. And I thought that might help people, because I know that when you're in severe depression, sometimes you look at everything and it's such a big task that you've got ahead of you, because you've got so many issues that you think about, and you're like, and then if you just take it one simple step at a time, when you make that first leap, it can really give you the energy to make the change completely and change your whole outlook on stuff and give you that boost that you needed. So real peace, real happiness is not complicated, and it's not hard. If anything, it's the complete opposite. And the reason that we find it hard, really, is because how busy we keep ourselves. So it's actually like the not doing anything, or the not concentrating on your thoughts and concentrating on the mind and body when it's telling you that you need to move or do something or be something. To completely ignore that idea and that concept is the hardest thing, when you should think about it realistically. If you think about it, how easy should it really be for us to be in a natural state of peace, just being there and doing nothing? The thing is, you are already perfect, and you're everything that you need to be. And I'm discovered myself, you aren't actually the problem. You think you are. Your brain has managed to convince you that you are the problem, where really all it is the brain itself has managed to convince you that you are this I, and that this I is bad or not looking good, or you itself is perfect and you are beautiful, and it's just the mind that is tricking you into this idea, this perception of who you are. And all you really have to do is not listen and just observe it, and allow even the feelings, because once you have this thought, it can connect to feelings, or the feelings can connect to thoughts. But the more you observe them, the more you don't buy into these ideas, the less they come, and the less they have the fluidity to make you believe in these things, or the strength, the energy. You're not feeding them with energy. These ideas and these thoughts need energies to be able to manifest into the physical. So that's one of the most beautiful things ever, and I think you need to understand this, that you are beautiful and you are perfect, and the only reason that you don't think you are is because you're just buying into your mind and your mind's idea of who you are. Yeah, so I think one of the most important things when you're doing any sort of healing or any sort of work on yourself is just to remember that you are absolutely perfect, and you are actually all you ever need to be in your natural state, which isn't actually that difficult to get or to be. We have to work really hard to come out of our natural state. How many negative thoughts do we buy into? How many negative thoughts do we think is true? It's many, and none of them realistically are true. It's just created by the fabrication of your mind, and created by this sense of I that we were talking about, and this perception of who you are. Imagine if you perceived yourself to be well and healing and beautiful and wonderful, and whether you didn't need to change physically or emotionally or spiritually or do anything at all. Imagine how that would just change your life instantly. So let's talk about unhappiness itself. One of the things I discovered was that when you're a baby and you first come in here, you don't see things as proper shapes and people as people. you actually see everything quite blurry. Shapes and the size of things are very hard to make out. And basically you don't see anything, and when something moves around you, you think it's actually a part of you. Oneness, because you actually can't identify what is you. So at the moment you still have no idea of this I and who you actually are, and that comes in a bit later when your parents start going to you, mum, dad, and they actually program you before you've even realized who you are. You just think you're a part of everything. Then all of a sudden, when you understand who mum and dad is, you suddenly start to get this sense of I. Yes, once we picked up this sense of I, then the main thing, I think, to come back to a place of peace, which we were in the very beginning. We were natural, pure awareness, uninterrupted, until we picked up this idea or feeling of I. And then all of a sudden, from there, we start to fill everything with more baggage, more ideas, more concepts of this I, which attach to the I. So if we go back and strip ourselves back to where we first were and where we first came and begun, then there's a sense of peace there. And how you do this is you sit there in silence and observe yourself till the mind itself starts to speak. Then from there you can say, oh, is this the true me saying this, or is this coming from a sense of I? And if it's coming from a place of I and a sense of I, then you can just discard it and observe it and let it go. As you know, it's not really the true you. And then from there, that thought will start to lose its power, start to lose its grip, will start to lose its power, start to lose its grip,